state must be restructured. This is the time. And one thing that we, the forum, in collaboration with organizers, will be fighting for is the governance structure of SNIT. Because the SNIT money is not government money, it's workers' money. Do you agree with me? Yes. It is workers' money. So why should some people who are not contributors to the fund be controlling the fund? We are not going to allow it to happen. This is workers' money, and we must control it. You know, the good book says that where your treasure is, that's where what? So please, Ember manifesto. You know so? In fact, we had fruitful discussions with your Minister for Public Enterprise, Joseph Kudu. And one of the things that we said was, you've mentioned credit reference. One key thing is character reference. You see, I can still in the civil service, and then next time I'll go to the education service, and nobody knows about it. It's very important. And that boils down to discipline in our system. So much indiscipline. So much indiscipline. You know, I'll bring it down to
the kind of investment that has been made in senior high school for the past 7 years leave a lot to be desired. I teach in the senior high school, and I know the state of the school before 2017 and the state of the school today, development that has been done in the school. Your Excellency, we want that political will that your boss used in the senior high school to be used at the basic school. That political will to transform senior higher education. Next year, God willing, if you become president, let's see a policy towards transforming basic education in this country.
Thank you very much. So, last question goes to my friend here, and then Your Excellency.
The core of healthcare delivery in this country, and I'm sure has been the minds of many unions and even the ministry. I'm talking about rural, urban dichotomy in terms of distribution of health workers, critical health workers, and also the brain drain. You know, some policies in the past attempted to stem the outward migration of health professionals, but no more. I am a trainer of doctors as well, and almost on a weekly basis, I'm seeing people asking for attestation to be able to move outside. Some of the reasons are because they want to advance knowledge, but primarily, you and I and everybody here knows that, it's driven by the economics. I don't have to talk about the plummeted real incomes because of what is going on. But as a union and as stakeholders in the space, we have added the Ministry of Health to put together what we call the deprived area incentive allowance or incentives. Now this paper or document is done. It is gathering dust. Now, if I live in Accra and I'm paid X amount, I live in a typical village and I also paid X. What would I do in the village? There's no incentive. Now, when I live in Accra, I have the option of doing extra work to get more money. And then once I live in Accra, it's also easier for us or for you to migrate because that push factor is also there very strongly. So what we have fought for over the decades is this document. It's gathering dust. So please, if it hasn't captured your attention, I want you to bring it to your radar. I raise it or re-raise it with your people when they first met us.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much for those set of questions. I think that the Jusak, I think my brother Abdullah raised the issue of the lack of comparative treatment between the judicial service and the parliamentary service. And this is what the chairman was talking about, the apartheid systems in this. I think that what I can assure you, I was just asking when I looked at 158.2, in the Constitution. I was just asking Chairman, so what stops, when you say what stops the President from approving? Because it's not quite clear to me why there is sort of a stumbling block at that level. So once all things being equal, you can be assured that you'll have my support in that matter. Then you have, you talked about, when we review the Constitution, we should reinforce the independence of the judiciary. I don't have any problem with that. And then the whole issue about equal pay for equal work and the fact that some people are being paid allowances or pensions which they haven't been contributing to. And I think that's a serious matter. It's a very serious matter. And I think when we are reviewing this whole salary single spine and all of that, these issues should all be part of the comprehensive review, because it's a serious matter. Mr. Audu, from the concerned teachers, I think we are very much aligned with what you are saying. It is true that we have really focused a lot on the senior high school. There's no doubt about it. But as if you were reading our manifesto already, we are making that point in the manifesto that it is time for us to focus on the basic education and come at it with the same focus as we have done with the senior high school. And I think that the infrastructure, as you are seeing, that we are trying to put in place, of course, it's just the beginning, but it has to be widely distributed. And I think that, as I said to you, we shouldn't really even wait for Get Fund to try to fund all of it. Get Fund can work with the private sector. Let the private sector move ahead and provide a lot of those infrastructure, and we can pay them over time and not. So we are very, very aligned with your thinking as far as the basic schools are concerned. We want to see, and Prof from GMA was also talking about this rural-urban dichotomy as far as the distribution of health workers is concerned. And it's very, very stark. I mean, I think that over 80% of doctors, for example, are in Accra, Kumasi, Tema area. That is the reality we see. I mean, that's huge. And so what happens to the rest of the rural areas who need doctors and nurses and so on? So this deprived area incentive allowance is something that I will buy into. It just makes sense. For you to agree to go to serve in certain parts of the country. It may cause a lot of hardships for you and your family. And I think that an allowance to take that into account will make sense. So if it is gathering dust somewhere, maybe achievements and also the manifesto committee should make sure they take it and look at it in terms of what we are going to do. I want to thank all of you very, very, very much for making the time and really most grateful, very